Make some rye bread, and I wanted to buy the cocktail bread, but they didn't have it at my store, so I have a form. So we're gonna make it ourselves for tonight's live. So first of all, we're gonna add a cup of warm water, which is 90 to 110 into our mixer. And to that, we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of yeast. And yes, we're gonna let it bloom. This is gonna take 5 to 10 minutes. So while that's blooming, we'll be back in a minute after it finishes blooming. Yeast has sat long enough. It's sat for 10 minutes and it's proofed. So now we're gonna add in, first we're gonna put in a separate bowl. We're gonna mix our dry ingredients. Okay, we need 1 1/4 cups of rye flour. I'm using King Arthur's rye flour. And 2 2/3 cups of bread flour. Probably should have got a bigger container. What do you guys think? Okay, there's all of our flour. And we're also going to add to that salt, which we need to add 2 1/4 teaspoons of salt. 4th, we have honey on it. 1, 2. And we need 1 tablespoon of caraway seeds. I mean, you can't have rye bread without caraway, right? 1 tablespoon. Okay, let me find a bigger bowl because that's just not going to work. You know, even those of us that cook all the time make mistakes. So we're going to put that in there and get a whisk and whisk it together good. And now I'm going to add it to my bread stand. And I'm not going to talk because I know you guys have a hard time hearing me. So at this point, you're just going to see. I'm not going to... I don't have it plugged in. And knead all the stuff in because this is such a small batch. It's hard for my big guy to get to the bottom of this thing. But I really don't need more than this, so I didn't want to make a double batch. Okay, now I'm gonna roll it out. I'm gonna show you guys a little trick I do. Okay, this is equivalent to, I believe, 1 loaf of bread. So we're gonna roll it out. As you can tell, that is difficult. I really want it the length of this guy, so need to put it up like this. Wider, not longer. As you can tell, this is a lot of work. We're actually going to go longer because it seems to be the way it wants to go. Now, this is going to take a while to rise, about 4 hours. Remember, rye is a lot denser bread than wheat bread or white bread. See those caraway seeds in there. And yes, buying cocktail bread would be a lot easier, except around me, nobody has it. Went to 5 stores. Probably the one store I didn't go to has it. Okay, now I'm going to show you a little trick I'm going to do for St. Patrick's Day. Take some butter, do a pastry brush, get some green gel to drop in your butter, and mix. And it should be a pretty dark green if you want it to show up on your bread, so make sure you have enough in there. Takes quite a bit. Okay, so you can see that's pretty dark green. I'm happy with that. Now we're gonna, well, maybe not. Should be enough. All we want it to do is show up as a little bit of a green swirl in the middle of our bread. So that's what we're kind of doing. We'll see, guys. It'll either work out or it won't. I usually have done this with red, which actually becomes pink when it bakes. So I've never done it with green. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. Oh, it's looking pretty. So this is about 2 tablespoons of butter. Then we're going to roll from the longest side, and you're going to roll a tight roll. You know, I'm doing that. Okay, close in the end, and I'm going to measure the length of my can. I'm going to cut it just short. So I want it to be able to rise, so I'm going to cut it about right here. Okay, you can kind of see what the swirl is going to look like. Spray your cap. Well, if I can get this back together again. Then spray the inside of your tube really good. Notice there's no hole. This is the top, the one with the hole. Put them in. And now we're going to let this rise. And then with the leftover bread, I have this little mini bread pan. I'm going to spray it. And I think this will make 2 more loaves. So we'll cut this in half, put this guy in here, and this guy in here, and let them rise also. And it'll be a while. Yeah, be careful. Food coloring goes everywhere, guys. It's going to be about 4 hours, and we'll finish it off.